Hello everyone, welcome back to Virtual Lab Infra in my YouTube channel. Today's session we are going to understand the basic virtualizations, why it is important and how it is used in real world environment. So first of all, what is virtualization? So virtualization is the process of creating virtual version of physical resources such as servers, storage, networking and operating system. Instead of running one OS on one physical machine, we can run multiple virtual machines, which is VMs, on single system. So why virtualizations? So before virtualization, one server equal to one application. Hardware was underutilized and high cost of maintenance. So after virtualization comes in, so multiple VMs on single host. So better resource utilization and cost effective, easy management and scalability. So if you look at here, we have a virtualization. Now, so for example, the virtualization basically its core components are hypervisor, example VMware ESXi. So VMware is ESXi is a hypervisor and platform would be centralized control. So when I talk about management platform, it is nothing but vCenter. So this is just the preview session, guys. It's a demo session. We are not going to show you how we have configured it, because in upcoming days we'll create this environment from a scratch so that you will understand how exactly we can build a virtualization and create multiple of virtual machines. Not only that, we'll also see if your if your virtualizations, one of your host is down, how second host or other host will take over all the virtual machine. Your virtual machine will shift to different ESXi and you will see the high availability, which is HA, will take take place, and your end user will not have any impact. So this is the agenda. So vCenter login interface, I'll just show you the interface of this vCenter and ESXi and what is the configuration that we have used, so that in next session or upcoming session, once we have this configured, you will understand very easily. So if you look at here, in my workstation, I have created Windows Server, Windows DC 01. If you have seen my previous sessions, guys, my Windows Server training series, you will understand I had created my Windows Domain Controller 01, and there we have installed ADDS roles, DNS, DSCP roles, and from DSCP roles, from DSCP scope, all our virtual machines are getting IP automatically. So if you look at here, I have two domain controllers. So for this demo session, I am showing you using my first domain controller itself, which is my primary domain controller. So I have created a hypervisor ESXi, and I have given a host name called ESXi host 01, and which is getting IP from my Windows domain controller, where DSCP has been configured 192.168.1.102, which is my ESXi host IP. And then I have configured this ESXi host, and I am through browser I am accessing this ESXi host. So if you look at here, I have logged in with the IP address. If you click on advanced and continue, it will take you to ESXi host. So basically, through vCenter, you can manage your all the hosts, multiple hosts from single console, which is vCenter. So just because of resource crunch, I have just created one ESXi host, and then I have created a vCenter server in my domain controller server itself, and I'm going to create virtual machine and configure all the required resources from vCenter itself. So I'm just logging to my ESXi host 01, and just so I'll show you what is the configuration that I'm using it. So in upcoming days, we'll see all this configuration from a scratch, like how to install ESXi, and then how to configure vCenter. So you can use vCenter on different server also. And because of resource crunch, I have installed vCenter in my Windows domain controller. So if you look at here, my Windows domain controller is responsible for DHCP, DNS, and it's a primary domain controller as well. So ADDS, DHCP, DNS. So my ESXIs are getting dynamic IPs. You can see DHCP IPs from my Windows domain controller server itself. And with that, with the help of this IP, I am using my ESXi host here. So this is the login page, guys. One sec. Let me log in. So this ESXi host is nothing but my primary host, and our vCenter is actually integrated with this ESXi host. Integrated in the sense my ESXi host is using this vCenter. So what I did, I have created this ESXi host as an hypervisor host one, and then I installed vCenter on this server. So this is the details, guys, like the minimum configuration, or for prerequisite, if I talk about 12 GB of RAM minimum requirement, and 2 CPU, and at least 170 GB of storage I have given for my host, actually not for this domain controller server. And I am using vCenter ISO. All the ISO I will show you when we will talk about and configure this server. From here I have installed the vCenter application or installer. So it will take around 30 to 45 minutes. And once your vCenter is installation completed automatically, this vCenter server will get installed in ESXi host, and you will see this details here. So VMware vCenter server. Now with the help of this IP, which is 192.168.1.104, which is getting IP from DHCP server automatically. If you use this IP, and it will ask you to log in with your root username and password, you will see all this detail. Now from here you can create virtual machines, you can manage your host and everything. Since my ESXi host doesn't have any virtual machines apart from this vCenter, so you will see empty here. So that's all, guys. This is what I wanted to show you, like a kind of you can say preview session, or um, the prerequisites. So upcoming days or upcoming session, we'll create a new session, new playlist for our hypervisor. We'll discuss everything about VMware hypervisor, how organizations are using, how they manages all the VMs, storage, networking, everything. So that's all, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye.